Hello there and welcome to this series of videos going through the content of A-Level Maths. Here we're looking at projectiles with vectors so we can answer questions from exercise 8b. Now we've done a lot of work on projectiles in chapter 6, but here's going to be quite a neat little way of dealing with both the horizontal and vertical components using vectors in one neat equation. So we can represent the position vector of a particle using vectors by these three formulas. R equals, the position of the vector is going to be at the starting position plus time times the velocity. So as time goes on, that position is going to be changing, and this is how we work it out. The starting position plus velocity times time. You can think of it like y equals mx plus c. The plus c bit is the starting position, the u bit is the gradient, that's the rate at which it's changing, and t is the x value that gets changed, and we multiply the m value by that t value. So it's kind of similar to y equals mx plus c. However, when we have acceleration, this is the position coordinate instead. The position vector is equal to the starting position times vt, so that's the same as the first equation, but then we've got this plus half at squared on the end. Why does it look like this? Well, you'll probably remember the s equals ut plus half at squared formula from Suvat, and this is where it comes from basically. These back two components here are basically the s equals ut plus half at squared formula. We just also need to adjust this for the initial starting coordinate of the vector. So it's the starting coordinate of the vector plus s equals ut plus half at squared. And in particular, when we're working with projectiles, we're going to have acceleration due to gravity. So A here can be represented by minus 9.8 j as the effect of gravity going downwards if we're assuming upwards is positive. So basically, what I'd recommend you do is memorize this formula here. You don't really need to memorize it. You can kind of make most of it from this Suvat formula here. Just make sure you adjust for the initial position. Now, it's a good idea to remember this one because if you have no acceleration, then you get the first one. If you know that the acceleration is just minus 9.8 j, that gets you the third one. And yeah, so this here is a pretty useful formula. The other useful formula you might need for this section here is v equals u plus at to work out the final speed of a particle after a certain amount of time. So let's get stuck into a question then. We have a tennis ball that's struck from a point of 20 j meters above a fixed point O with an initial velocity of 5I plus 8j, and it will travel under the effect of gravity to a point B. Find the speed after 1.5 seconds, find an expression for the position vector r of the ball relative to O at time t seconds, and hence determine the distance OB. So what we need to do first is we need to use a bit of v equals u plus at to work out the the final speed after 1.5 seconds. So substitute all your key values in. Your initial speed is 5I plus 8j. Your acceleration is minus 9.8 j in the vertical component times by time. And put all these back together again, simplify your I components, your j components. But then to work out speed, remember this is the velocity vector. The speed will be calculated by doing a little bit of Pythagoras calculation on a 5I 6.7j right angled triangle. So your speed here is going to be 8.4 meters per second. Now this is always the case for speed. When you see a question that's asking for speed, it is just going to be asking for a total value, a magnitude value, rather than a velocity vector. Part B finds an expression for the position r. Now this is where we're going to use our r equals r0 plus ut plus half at squared formula. We can't use this simple one here because the velocity is not constant, so we have to use the one where it's adjusted for acceleration. So substituting all your values in, we're going to have the initial position, which is at 20j, plus the initial speed times time, 5I plus 8j times t, and then it's a half times minus 9.8j times by t squared, that's the half at squared part. Put all this back together. So expand the brackets and factorise out the j components from all three of these parts that have j, and there we are. That's your answer to this question here then. So the height is going to form a quadratic, but the horizontal component is just going to be 5 times t, basically a linear function. So now let's determine the distance O to B. Well, first of all, we need to work out the time so that we can times it by 5 to get the horizontal component. So we want to know the time at which the ball hits the ground. So what we're going to have to do is solve that the j component is equal to 0 here, because at coordinate B there is no height to this vector here, it's just a purely horizontal distance away from O, so the height here is effectively 0. So get your quadratic equation, solve that out, and you get an answer of 2.995. Ignore the negative one because that will be travelling back in time. So 2.995 is the I component, times that by 5, making sure you use the answer button in your calculator to do that. And we get a value of 14.975, so 15 to 2 significant figures. So there we are, so two quite neat little formulas there, v equals u plus at and r equals r0 plus ut plus half at squared. Here's a question for you to have a go at. Pause the video and try this question out. Okay, so a ball is projected off the top of a cliff with an initial velocity, with initial vector of 25j relative to a fixed point O. The base of the cliff is at sea level. The velocity of the projection is 3pi plus pj. After 2 seconds, the ball passes point B with position vector qi plus 10j meters before hitting the sea at point C. The ball is modelled as a particle moving freely under gravity, and the sea is modelled as a horizontal plane. Find the velocity vector of the ball at point B. Okay, well, it's quite annoying here because the initial speed here, the initial velocity, has p's in it. So before we work out the value of the velocity at B, we're going to have to work out the value for p. Now we know that it intersects this coordinate q10 effectively. So what we'll do then is we'll use the formula for the position vector of r0 plus ut plus half at squared, and we'll work out that the position will intersect q10, and then we'll be able to work out what p is. So we have the position vector is going to be starting at 25j, and then it's going to have initial speed of 3pi plus pj, and that will be multiplied by the time. Then it's plus half, and then the gravity here is going to be the acceleration, so minus 9.8 j, and that's going to be times by t squared. So let's expand everything and group everything together. For the I component, it's just going to be 3pt, lots of I. And then for the j component, it's going to be 25 plus pt minus 4.9 t squared, lots of the j component there. So what we're interested in is finding out the value for the j component when it's equal to 10. So this is going to be at point B. We know that 25 plus p, and that's going to be after how many seconds? That's after 2 seconds. So it's going to be 25 plus 2p minus, and then 4.9 times 4 gives us 19.6. And that's going to be equal to 10 on this side here. So therefore 2p is going to moving everything to the right hand side. It's going to be 10 take away 25 plus 19.6. That's going to be 4.6. And dividing that by 2, we're going to get 2.3. Lovely. So the value of p is 2.3. And now we can work out the velocity of the ball at point B. So now we're going to use v equals u plus at. So the final velocity vector is going to equal the initial velocity vector, which is 3 times 2.3. 3 times 2.3 is 6.9. So 6.9 on the I component plus 2.3 on the j component plus, and then it's going to be acceleration, so it's going to be minus 9.8, and it's going to be after 2 seconds, so minus 9.8 times 2, lots of the j component. So therefore the I component is going to stay exactly the same, and then it's going to be 2.3 minus 2 times 9.8 on the j component, which is minus 17.3 on the j component there. So therefore then the speed, we won't leave our final answer as a velocity vector, it's going to be the speed, which is the magnitude of the velocity vector, so that is 6.9 squared plus 17.3 squared. Grab your calculator and work it out. 6.9 squared plus 17.3 squared, and we get a total answer here of 18.6 speed, so it's meters per second. Okay, so moving on to the second part, I'm with a bit more space here. So a remote control boat leaves point O at the same time the ball is projected and travels in a straight line towards C with constant acceleration. Given that the ball lands on the boat, find the acceleration of the boat. So first things first, what we probably need to work out here is the distance between O and C. So in this case here we're going to have to use, we're going to have to work out the time actually first that it's going to reach point C. So to work out the time that it reaches point C, we're going to need to find the time at which the j component is equal to 0 here. So when does the j component equal 0? Or in other words, the position C is at a point where it is neither above or below the fixed origin point O, so therefore it must just be moving left and right, so therefore the j component equals 0. So we're going to have to solve 25 plus pt minus 4.9 t squared equals 0. And we get an answer then of 2.5056. Okay, so that's the time that it reaches there by, and now we need to work out the distance from O to C. So distance from O to C now. So in this case it's going to be, it's just going to be the I component, isn't it? It's going to be when t is equal to 2.5056, then 3 times p, we worked out p earlier, that's 2.3, times by the time, 2.5056, the I component is going to be 17.3 roughly, 17.3 meters from A to C. Okay, so we have the boat and it leaves the fixed origin point O, and we're going to say that it has no initial speed to start with, and it's going to start to accelerate to point C. So we're going to use effectively the same equation that we had previously. R equals R0 plus UT plus half AT squared. But here, the initial point is at O, so that can be ignored. It has no initial speed, so that component there can be ignored. It needs to get to a position of 17.3 I, and that's going to be equal to a half times A, and it accelerates from the same time that the ball is thrown, or the ball is projected, so the time's going to be the same here, so it's going to be times by 2.5056 squared. So the first thing we do then is grab our 2.5056, square it, and then divide it by 2. So we get 17.3i equals 3.139, lots of acceleration, and then do 13.3 divided by that answer value, and we get 5.5 I as our acceleration there. We have no j acceleration there, it's just a boat on the sea, so it wouldn't make sense for it to have a j acceleration there. So there's our answer then. So that's the answer to part B there. So have a go at plenty of the questions from exercise 8b, particularly the exam style questions, particularly the problem solving style questions, and do try to memorize the r equals r0 plus ut plus half at squared formula. Really useful formula in these vectors projectile questions. Thanks very much for watching.